Now you can hear me. Now you can hear me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the 10th Annual Community Talent Show, St. Louis Park. The Park Theater Company was asked 10 years ago to do our Community Talent Show, and we've done one every year just around this time. And it's, I guarantee you, an evening filled with fun and entertainment and a lot of courageous people who are willing to get up and do their thing just to please you. That's what they're here for tonight. So my name is Jim McDonough. I'm the board chair and production manager of the Park Theater Company. I've been involved with it since its beginning. Actually, before we did the talent show in 2009, our first production was here in this park, Wolfe Park, in 2008. It was called Dr. Galen's Magic Medicine Show. And it was written by Brad Richardson, who's a playwright and performer here in St. Louis Park. And Brad and his wife, Rachel, went on to open another theater here in St. Louis Park entitled Maggie's Farm. And we're so proud of the fact that from that little grassroots movement 10 years ago, we've gotten 2 theaters and hundreds of performers and thousands of audience members to enjoy the performances that we've done. My co-master of ceremonies is here, Mr. Radio Man himself, Tim Colby.
Hello there, Mr. McDonough.
Well, Tim's been with us since 2013. His first engagement with us was as a assistant director and set designer for The King of the Kosher Grocers, which was a play that was written by Joe Maneris. How many know Joe Maneris out with Pepito's Restaurant? In fact, they had to close it because Joe's had some serious medical problems and is really struggling to continue living. He's a professional actor, comedian, and we were honored to do actually 2 runs of that. And right here in the front row tonight, we have our latest production, Phil Hall, who wrote The President and the Space Lady and honored us by letting us perform that and produce that over at the Jewish Community Center last December. Nothing like doing a play at the Jewish Community Center right on Christmas Eve almost. But it's a play called The President and the Space Lady about an alien who lands in the Rose Garden at the White House. So how fitting can that be, you know? And actually, I did an interview of Phil, his life in the theater, which is rather extensive for our, we have a video magazine, Arts in the Park video magazine that's produced by the theater and aired on Park 15. Let's hear a round of applause for ParkTV. They're in the house tonight as well, and they enjoy the fact that you come because they'd have to be here whether you came or not. You know, they were here at 5 o'clock. I know that because I got here at 5:15. But we really appreciate that, and if you're interested, our video magazine runs on ParkTV 15 for a few weeks, and then we upload it to YouTube, which goes all over the world, and you can find that and take a look at what other artists in the park besides the theater and the things that we do. So without further ado, we'd like to call up our first performer, right, Tim?
I think we should. Are we going to call up Nora?
We're going to call Nora up to the stage. We've got a wonderful talent cast here tonight. So Nora, can you come forward? Hi, Nora. I met Nora 2 weeks ago at the auditions for the talent show, right? And they let me know at that time that she was in a play out in New Hope. And the title of the play?
Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. And you played?
Dance team.
On the dance team. But you weren't a munchkin. You weren't a munchkin, right? No? Thanks. She was a lot of things. And she did a lot of dancing. But tonight we're going to be able to hear her sing for us. So, Nora, do you want to hold the mic, or do you want me to put it? You hold it. Okay. And can you introduce the song? Can you tell the crowd what song you're going to sing first?
All of Me by John Legend.
And by the way, folks, we don't have a rehearsal for this, and you'll see that right off the bat. But please bear with us in terms of the sound level and getting things queued up. You know what I mean? Just till we get the music going. But hang on.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in, you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Give me all of you. Cards on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it although it's hard, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you, and I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh.
What a way to open the show. Let's hear it for Nora. And her parents are right here in the front row, and we want to really give a shout out to parents that support their youngsters who are wanting to be artists. You know what I mean? It's a hard road, but parents that give them their support, let them perform their art and be creative, and we need more of that in our community. So thank you so much.
Stand up, parents.
Glad that
Maybe all the parents that are here should stand up. Any other parents in the audience? There you go. There you go. Hello. Remember, you are the first audience to your children. You are the first people that they audition to. It is your acceptance and your promotion and your love that really propels them onto this stage and to other stages and other experiences in life. So you really do deserve a hand for the love, the care.
How about another song from Nora?
And we never have enough, do we?
When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds like ooh. Too young, too dumb to realize that I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. Should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. My pride, my ego, my needs, and my selfish ways cost a good, strong woman like you to walk out my life. Now I'll never get to clean up the mess I made. Oh, and it haunts me every time I close my eyes. It all just sounds like ooh. Too young, too dumb to realize that I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. Should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. Although it hurts, I'll be the first to say that I was wrong. Oh, I know I'm probably much too late to try and apologize for my mistakes, but I just want you to know I hope he buys you flowers, I hope he holds your hand, gives you all his hours when he has the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause I remember how much you love to dance. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man.
Thank you, Nora. Can we let the folks know where you go to school?
Sandburg Middle School.
Sandburg Middle School. 12 years old, Nora. Nora will be back later in the program to give us another song that she does so beautifully. Now we have a dance troupe. Sabrina Dot and Celine? Yes. Sasina, yes. She's one of Sabrina's students, and we'd have had her on the program, but we didn't know. So, do you want to say anything before you get started, or we play the music?
Well, Jim actually talked me into at least saying a few words earlier. But the dance troupe that I host or hold is called Notch Fusion. And Notch Fusion basically means incorporating different dance styles. And in our dance group, we believe that it's important to incorporate different sounds, different cultures, different dance styles, and see past all borderlines and all kinds of stereotypes. So you might see some of that in our dancing, but that's something that we always hold true to whenever we do any of our dances. Thanks.
Yeah, I know you been like that. Got it like a horse, baby. Sure they say you're wicked like that. Waiting for the war is raging, chasing our crazy dreams. Hoping that the bridge won't cave in, so I will let it all go free. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Now she don't like stepping at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rock. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Now she don't like stepping at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me light it up.
Girl, you think you can dance? You need to watch and learn.
Then go on your head, crawl on the ground just like 40 legs. You know say that style in the bed. Raise up on the turn. Why not go low? Why not go low? Why not go low, low, low? Why not go low, 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 low? dedicated beat just for you, baby. Yeah, hey, yeah.
Give it to me now, work out.
You the
Give it to me
workout,
now,
girl. You the
Give it to me
workout,
now,
girl.
work out. Give it to me now,
Yeah,
work
yeah.
out.
Give me the workout, baby. Show them that you're not lazy. Lately, your body driving me crazy. Gym body. Now give it to your body, oh gym body. Original them can put up a PO.
We never over. You send me loca. I want you love. You're giving me pressure. Love never sober. We dancing in soca. Right like vroom, vroom, vroom.
And you know we end up going low, lower, lower, until we end up falling low, lower, until we end up on the ground.
We never over. You send me loca. I want you love. You're giving me pressure. Love never sober. We dancing in soca. Right like vroom, vroom, vroom.
End up on the ground. Go, Govinda!
मटके झटके मारे हैं तू आज शोला तो हम भी कुआरे हैं तू आसमां पे है तू चांद तारे हैं हम मटके झटके मारे हैं तू आज शोला तो हम भी कुआरे हैं तू आसमां पे है तू चांद तारे हैं हम चाहे दम निकले ये दम है कसम तेरी कसम तुझे आज छोड़ेंगे ना हम
मटके झटके मारे हैं तू आज शोला तो हम भी कुआरे हैं तू आसमां पे है तो चांद तारे हैं हम मटके झटके मारे हैं तू आज शोला तो हम भी कुआरे हैं तू आसमां पे है तो चांद तारे हैं हम चाहे दम निकले ये दम है कसम तेरी कसम तुझे आज छोड़ेंगे ना
Speaker का वॉल्यूम उसको
Hello. There we go. You might have noticed how many out there consider yourselves dancers? Come on, raise your hand. Do any of you know what it's like dancing on concrete? These beautiful ladies, no complaints. That's because talk about floating like butterflies. They'll teach us Westerners about our stomping. We break our legs on stuff like this. They just float on it. And the story that they told in the movement, which is really part of Knock Fusion, that they tell stories and express the emotions in the dance. How can people get a hold of you, Sabrina? I know you've got a Facebook page.
Yeah, I do have a Facebook page. If you search Sabrina.datt, you'd be able to contact me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, I think all of the social media basically, or email datsabrina114@gmail.com, and we can get dancing together. We'll throw a party. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sabrina, and
Cecina.
Cecina. Round of applause. So, next up is Mike Cohen, a local St. Louis Park dancer, and he will be performing here. Thank you.
In the loneliness of the night. young age, taking my soak into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took at me, shook at me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the. You make me a believer, believer. You break me down, you make me a believer, believer. Pain, let the bullets fly, let them rain. My love, my time, they came from. You make me a believer, believer. Third things third, send a prayer to the ones up above. All the hate that you've heard has turned your spirit to a dove. Oh, ooh, your spirit up above. Oh, ooh. I was choking in the ground, building my brain up in the cloud, falling like ashes to the ground, hoping my feelings they would drown, but they never did, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke up when it rained down. It rained down like. You make me a believer, believer. You break me down, you make me a believer, believer. Pain, let the bullets fly, let them rain. My love, my time, they came from. You make me a believer, believer. Last days last by the grace of the fire and the flames. You're the face of the future, the blood in my veins. Oh, ooh, the blood in my veins. Oh, ooh. But they never did, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke up when it rained down. It rained down like.
Well, one for the money, two for the show. You get ready now, go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
Mike played a pirate in our Fringe Festival show last year, Blackbeard's Revenge. Yeah, ice cream. Are you still selling souvenirs for the Vikings? He's selling, on game days down at the stadium, Mike's selling souvenirs down there for the Minnesota Vikings. He did it last season, he'll do it this season, but he's got a new venture, selling Coney's cones, right? And where are you located, Mike? Fifth and Hennepin. In the Cowles Center there. The Dance Center, Cowles Art Center. Mike's selling ice cream down there. So if you're in the lobby. All right, St. Louis Park. Lived here for years. Mike Cohen. Well, I want to bring Nora back up for her third and most wonderful number here.
you share this with me? Started without you. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Tower of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never, never, never enough, never, never, never enough for me, for me, for me.
Move over, Taylor Swift. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nora. We'll see more of her sometime in the future, I'm sure. Well, our next performer tonight is a surprise one. I just got a call out of the blue from Matthew James Palmquist. And I'm going to let him set up his music here.
How you guys doing? Yeah, I grew up in St. Louis Park, but I've never played music in front of my hometown. I've been off on the road playing a lot of music with a band of mine. We're called Goop City Music. Just played in Kansas City. They're out in Las Vegas right now playing a show, but I play the saxophone, and I love it, so I hope you love it. So I got one more song for y'all. I produced this one. It's called Self-Love. And the reason I wrote this is because I feel like that is one of the most important things music has taught me to do in my life, is love myself. And I hope that I can spread that message on to y'all. Once again, I'm Matt Palmquist. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Goop City Music, Lifted Minds. We're around.
Matthew James Palmquist. That's some pretty soothing psychedelic jazz, as Matthew says. Matthew, do you have a card? Be sure to leave it there. We want to give your contact information. All right. All right, he's a nice guy. He's on Facebook. Almost everybody's on Facebook. Our next performer is Robert Yarwood, and I haven't forgot about Michael and Deborah, who weren't on the program tonight, but are going to come up and do something after Robert does. So I haven't forgotten you guys. So, okay, Robert Yarwood, who's part of the Park Theater Company.
Good evening. My name is Robert, if you could hear me. I changed my routine just a little bit because we've lost some of the kids. But I got a bag full of candy if you adults want to stop by at the end. Anyway, you did fabulous. One of my favorite songs from Showman. She was so beautiful at the end. My heart broke for her, didn't it yours? It really did. And for the mommy and the two little girls to sit up in the audience and watch her sing that for Daddy. It was really a heartbreaking, beautiful movie, ended great. The thing I liked it when they danced up on the top of the thing and all the sheets went this way and the sheets went that way. It was beautiful. My name is Robert Yarwood. Robert Yarwood, it's on here. But I'll tell you my real name and why I'm dressed the way I am tonight. My real name is a mouthful. My real name is Robert, which means Robert in French. My mom was French and my dad was English. Since the children are gone, that's why I changed my routine, because I'm sure a lot of it will go this way, right over their heads. My real name is Robert Francois Lati Colby Yarwood. And in the original beginning, it means yard full of wood. Like all of these big trees up here, my family owned a yard full of wood, which is about 125 acres, in England. And so therefore, we had no name in 1123, a thank you to Ancestry.com. And I can't find any birth certificates. I was supposed to be born in 1948. I am a bastard child. My father was in the military. My mother was French. Was born on the Isle of Man, which is about a 13-mile island right off the English coast. My dad... I'm somehow not destined to do this, perhaps. Thank God we didn't screw it up for you. You were beautiful. Like we said, it's an unscripted show, and thank you for TPT and for Jim McDonough and the Park Theater in 10 years. And you dedicated audiences. Sometimes you don't all come, and sometimes you leave early, so that's okay too. James, don't make me say the F word. You're fantastic, but get your hell off those keys. Anyway, my name is Robert Francois Lati Colby Yarwood. I come from the Isle of Man. I was born in 1948. I'm the bastard child of Robert Eugene Yarwood II and Sarah Ella Glasscock. That's my mother, one of my mother's maiden names, Lati, from the little town of Glasscock, which is not Glasgow, but Glasscock, right out of Bowen County, right out of Wiltshire. My family owns a castle. I didn't realize that until I went on Facebook, or not Facebook, we had a family reunion, but I went on Ancestry.com, which is cool, and they have a program on TPT, which is Find Your Roots, which is really good too. Although I'm no celebrity, I still found my roots anyway, and I cut off a bunch of them. But anyway, yeah, you get my humor. It's a little dry and stupid. Anyway, so on this castle, it's called Watch Hill Castle. if somebody has Google, you can look it up right now. And anybody has Bing, you can look it up. It's called Watch Hill Castle, or Yarwood's Castle. And the reason they call it I should rewind, but there's no autocorrect on this one. Sometimes it just falls out of my mouth and I haven't even had a beer. But anyway, we could do that later. And so my family cut down this big stand of trees because Watch Hill Castle in 1135 had no moat. And the moat is this thing right here, this great big hole in the ground. Most of my family have holes in their heads, but they wanted us to dig a great big hole in the ground. And we cut down that 150-acre wood. Sorry, Woody, whatever your name was, Pooh. And they built a 50-foot moat around Watch Hill Castle. It's still, well, the castle doesn't stand. It's on the historical register as Yarwood's Castle. So that's where my name came from. It is really Yarwood, Yarwoode, but they changed it at Ellis Island to Yarwood. And some of people's names are Hardwood, Sherwood, the Woods family, and it goes on. Anybody here have a last name with wood in it? I have no friends. Anyway, it's been a great show. I changed it a little bit because all of the interference that we have, and we've had a great audience. Support your Park Theater. Support your loving families. It is I won't say Christian-based, but we are a faith-based program. It doesn't matter if you're green, purple, blue, yellow, orange, white. You know, they have a rainbow for that covers all the rest of them. For some of us who think they're pink and some who think they're blue. But I finally decided to tell my grandson, there's a rainbow for the rest of us that covers it in between. He asked me one day, are you a leprechaun, Grandpa? I said, no. He said, why are you dressed like that? I said, because I'm a fairy. He looked at me and said, do you do magic? I said, yes, poof, you're a pile of shit. Leave the room. My name is Robert, Francois Lati Colby Yarwood. Support your art. Support your children. Come back again. I'm going to sing one song. I sing it every year. If you've heard it last year, get up and leave now. I know you don't want to listen to it. Look at this little red-headed darling out here. Half my grandchildren. Did you know that the squirrel has the intelligence of a 7-year-old child? My grandson was in the yard, and we have lots of squirrels. I guess that's why he acts so squirrely all the time. But you know how the damn things got here to Minnesota? Somebody must know. Aren't anybody here a history buff? All right, well, here we go. I'm a retired museum curator. I've built a museum in Arizona. I studied at the Smithsonian. I got the MA, the BA, the FU, the CA, and all the rest of them that go with it. But anyway, I digress. I'm waiting for my kids. You know, half of them are Scottish. One of my grandkids is red hair and blue eyed, and the other one's blonde hair. He's the one that said to me, Grandpa, are you a leprechaun? I said, no, I'm a fairy. And he said, well, are you gay? And I said, well, I don't know. I'm on the fence. He said, what do you mean like that? I said, I'm a fairy. They said, on fences. Anyway, I'm glad that you came. I hope you have a happy evening. Drive careful. And here's my song for my lovely in the audience. If I cry, it's all your fault. A good way to end the show. And then Mr. McDonough's going to take over and do something funny. You've heard the song before. It has nothing to do with Ireland. It has to do with everything. The squirrels got here, thank you to Mr. What's his name that built the park down there? Loring. I used to live in the Loring Mansion, right hand to God, up on the hill there. It's a big green mansion on the corner. I didn't own the mansion. It was a rehab center, and I was in AA for 20 years, religiously. My wife said, you know, go to AA or get the heck out of the house. I went to AA for 20 years. I smoked the cigarettes. I listened to the dog stories. My wife went away. The dog died. The mailbox got ran over. It was disgusting. Finally, after 19 and a half years, I stood up one night, was a sponsor of 5 of them, 5 drunks that were there. Hi, I'm Robert. I'm an alcoholic. I'm always going to be an alcoholic. I got this, and I'm out of there. and haven't been back in 20 years, and I don't drink. So I held on to it. There is a God. Here's my song. It's called Summertime. I'm sure you've heard it before. It's really pretty. And it was really kind of for the children, which is kind of fun. Hey, you guys, I got candy down here if you want some. If you'll be quiet, I'll make you crazy with the candy. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. But hush, little baby, just won't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Spread your wings and take to the sky. Look at the big crane. They have a wingspan of 8 feet. They're the biggest bird with the longest legs. But until that morning, ain't nothing can harm you. So hush, little baby, and won't you cry. I want all of you to drive safely, have a happy night, and come back next time.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Deborah, Mike, do you want to come up and say a few words to the audience? Michael, what? Yeah, sometimes people leave. That the message will come back because it's going to be on TV. So Mike has been at one of our poetry jams, and he also has a book that he wrote last year. And I'll let him introduce himself and his book, say a few words, and we'll have him on another show as well. So here's Mike.
Yeah, hi. Hello, St. Louis Park. I'm originally from Ridgefield. I wrote this book 10 years and change last year. It came out. All of St. Louis Park, Ridgefield, Edina, Hopkins, Bloomington, they all played a small part in the Gene McCarthy anti-war movement, and that's what this book is about. And it's, it tells a lot about, it's a memoir. It's my family was particularly active in that movement. I of course was, too young. But I guess I got politically involved as soon as old enough. I dropped, literature. But this is about how it affected our family, it affected me growing up, how I am now, how my politics is. It's a lot of historical information about the Vietnam War also. If I could, I'd like to read a little. about how I remember our neighborhood in Richfield and what we thought we were doing every night, you know, while people are going off to war. And on those evenings of seance, as the sun sank to mesh with what lies beyond bucolic gerrymanders, neighbors' TVs flickered through windows into the light. We glanced up occasionally from our operations to see the codes, the intermittent glares reflected on windows to see when to tell my friends when to go home. Their parents were their parents were watching Cronkite deliver the CBS news report. The most trusted band in America delivered casualty numbers to the parents who sheltered their kids from the war. See, I was it was the talk of the table at our house. You know, plotting how to end it. That was common, and all my friends, their parents weren't involved at all in it, and so they were the parents of my peers who were ostensibly different from the war's endurance. They did not see the bleak possibility that under the current administration, conflict in Southeast Asia could last long enough to draft their sons. I went home when the crickets commenced and the stingray bikes clicked gently in the night. I brought some copies with me. These are for sale in the lobby there.
Bear with me. I'm new at this. Okay. My name is Deborah Becker, and I wrote a poem, and Michael Amram helped me as long, so I have to say, I have to give him the credit as well. I've, in time, actually got anxiety, so this is basically for persons that is actually struggling like I am. So, it's called Dream Catchers. Goes, anxious, it says, even with dual walls closing. In all around me, I say, where to go next? How to get out? I say. I hear voices around me. They surround me, drown me, to say, "Don't worry, child. You will be all right." A voice offers guidance, a counsel, comforting, and then I ask, who this voice, I say, telling me things? What's inside? Comforting, telling, assuring me about the rightness of everything. It's the Lord guiding, setting me free. In the deep, dark nights, I'm found in the end of my day, lying in bed restless, and I was down on my knees before bed, praying breathlessly. Yet I lay still with many thoughts. Okay, many thoughts in bed restless, and I messed up, excuse me. Yet I lay still with many thoughts going around my head. And even though I search, I scream, I range, days remain anxious. Thank you.
Well, music and art, performing, poetry in the middle of the night, Broadway tunes are all inspirational things. But now, for something completely different, a skit. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, from border to border and coast to coast, and all ships at sea. Let's go to press. I am Walter Winchill, your radio reporter for the Park Theater Company Arts in the Park Video Magazine. Tonight, I have been told that we have a special guest from out of this world at the 2018 St. Louis Park Community Talent Show. Who, I wonder, what, I wonder, could that be? I hear heavy breathing. I think I see what I see. My goodness! It's Darth Vader.
Yes, I am. And goodness has nothing to do with it.
Mr. Vader. Is that Mr. Darth, Mr. Vader, or Darth, or just Vader?
You shall refer to me as Lord Vader.
Must we be so formal? All right, Lord Vader, what brings you to Minnesota?
The weather.
The weather?
Yes, with fires burning in the west and floods in the east, Minnesota feels just fine.
Lord Vader, I thought you died in Star Wars, maybe like you are tonight. Never mind. Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Fake news.
Mr. Vader, everybody wants to ask, will you be coming back in future episodes?
Why not? Everybody does.
I guess you're right.
There's so many characters and aliens and droids, I get confused. They lost me at Darth Maul.
Wait. Darth Maul. Now, I may be new to Minnesota, but are you talking about the Mall of America? You know, Darth...
Silence, you mortals.
Pardon me, sir.
Yes, indeed. Pardons. I hear that the Kardashian species from Star Trek Enterprise are asking for presidential pardons, the Kardashians.
All right, wrong series, but that's okay, Darth Vader. You know, I think, sir, that was Kim Kardashian, not the extraterrestrial Kardashians.
Oh. Once you've seen one Kardashian, you've seen them all.
Lord Vader, let's get down to business. What do you think of the president's decision to create a space force?
I thought you'd never ask. It's my idea.
Sire.
You remember.
Your idea.
Your President Reagan with his Star Wars defense. It was my idea. Yes, a Death Star destroying the planet, separating familial siblings and sending them to distant adoptive families in other universes, silencing the opposition. It was all my plans. And I think, Eric, you are my son, I guess.
But Mr. President, I mean Vader, is it true that, is this all true?
Fake news. Don't believe what you hear or what you see. It's not true. It's the most splendiferous idea I've ever had. Better than sliced bread. You know what? It's the most beautifulest project I've ever had. I'm going to build a space force in space and make Mexico pay for it.
This can't be true.
Oh, it's true, all right. See you all next year.
But-
See you at the golf course.
But Mr. Vader, wait. He is out of this world.
Thank you for coming tonight. Look for us in the future. We've got a couple programs coming up next spring. One with the St. Louis Park Community Band. Thanks for being patient. And boy, you were treated to that. Just like in the Marvel comics, you got to stay after the credits. You know, all the other folks missed that wonderful skit. So don't worry about it. It'll be on TV. Thank you so much.